morning again. Thank you, Dario, for proposing me to share Servier transformation journey. As head of corporate competitive intelligence, my work is to see how the world is changing and what are the challenges and how we can deal with it. So for today, my agenda will be first to talk about what is Servier and how different it is. So this doesn't work very well. What are the challenges and opportunities and how we define the vision in order to tackle those challenges and those opportunities. And then to finish with a bit of digital and AI. So what is Servier? Servier is quite unique because it's a foundation. It's a foundation. It does mean that there are no shareholders, no dividends. And indeed, for me, it's really meaningful. And it does answer to your question in the first session. No shareholders, for me, I feel much more comfortable to work because we do reinvest all of our profits in the growth, in the R&D, and ensuring that we give value to the patients. So we have a comprehensive healthcare offering. We have innovative drugs. We have cardiovascular drugs. We are in 150 countries, but we do also have 3 generic businesses. In terms of health equity, I believe it's important, at the time of divesting generics for a lot of companies, to be able to offer high standards of innovation, but also generics allows to give a wide range of drugs for the company, for the patients. We are leader in cardiometabolism, but we are now, we have an ambition to be focused on oncology. And I will talk about this transformation journey, but also neuroscience and immunoinflammation. So, what are the challenges that pharma industry are facing? So I will be very short. I have chosen and selected only some of them. One is R&D. We've been discussing about R&D. Unfortunately, as compared to 10 years ago, it costs twice more to get a product on the market. It's more complicated. And then the peak sales expected are lower. So the R&D productivity is decreasing a lot. It's a challenge today to be able to put innovative drugs to the market. It's very complicated. And as a mid-pharma, as Servier, it's a very small company as compared to Astra or to Roche. It's difficult to make this investment and to ensure that it will be profitable. Another change is when talking about pipeline, about innovation, as compared to 10 years ago, what you see here is a part of biotechs. 10 years ago, the biotechs were providing 35% of the innovation. Then you see the big pharmas, then the mid-pharmas, and the small pharmas. What you see here is that today, 70% of the innovation is provided by biotechs. Much smaller for big pharmas, and not to say mid-pharmas like Servier. So it means that we have to partner and to find a way to put this innovation to the patient by working together. Another change is the geography. Anybody has either worked in China? In China, you know that they use WeChat. WeChat is a point of contact. Everything is digital. But through the local platform. The enabler is an external platform that allows you to put the patient, the HCPs, or the companies, and all the companies in contact. It's the same for the pipeline. So we see here that the pipeline has been growing. US is key. But what you see, this is a chart for biotechs. But it's more or less the same for all the pipeline. You see the growth of China. You see the reduction of innovation from Europe. And you see the rise of South Korea. Meaning that some countries have decided to invest a significant part of their GDP into innovation, and that it gives results. What does it mean? It means that we have to be where the innovation is, to capture the way to get this innovation, and again, to partner. For each company, it raises the question of what is our geographic footprint and implementation. So, there is a kind of scissor effect. Because if innovation is more expensive or more difficult, if each time you work in a new modality, mRNA, biologics, ASOs, PROTAC, each time you have to invest in a new facility. A facility for gene therapy is 500 million. For a mid-pharma, it's very complicated. So you have to choose the new modalities you have to invest in. You can't do everything. So it's more complex from the pharma side. But if you go to the environment, you have today several wars ongoing. We have had the COVID, supply issues. It's much more complex, but we have seen the IRA, but also the European regulation. Today, there is a restriction in pricing, a restriction in market access. So it's more complicated externally, and it's more complicated internally. So for a mid-pharma, when you don't have a lot of means, you have to make choices. And let's add a bit of change, data and AI, and new ways of working. So how can a mid-pharma be sustainable? We have to make choices. This is what we have decided for Servier, and to make choices and to be able to invest, you have to ensure that you have a significant revenue. So we have planned to move from 5 to 8, but also to be more profitable from 20% EBITDA to 30% in order to be sure that we can fuel the innovation. If it's more expensive, we have to be able to put more investment in research and development. And we will have a strategic house starting on the top by a significant positive social impact for a sustainable world. Here we are talking about CSR, we are talking about health equity. We will rely on several therapeutic areas, oncology, cardiometabolism, and generics, and we will have several enablers, industry, agile organization and digital performer, but also the people, the one who will make the difference. So we will take advantage of our legacy being a foundation. We will take advantage of the people to be committed, to be sure that the vision is very clear. As you say, Julien, it has to be very clear, and then people will feel empowered. And we will take advantage also of our experience, promotional, medical expertise, that it's quite recognized. And this is an example of what we have done for oncology. We decided in 2017 to go to the US. After 1 year, we purchased Shire Oncology, a first step into the US market. Then we purchased Symphogen for the monoclonal antibody capabilities. And then with Agios, our oncology business reached a high level with recent scientific benefits for the patients with vorasidenib in low-grade glioma, but also with the European Commission approval for Tibsovo in AML. So today, we have succeeded in being a recognized player in oncology in order to grow our potential. So we had to make choices. We have to make choices, but the choices that we can afford. So I will finish with a few words on digital and AI. Well, this slide, you know it all. It's an old slide. It's 10 months old. You remember, in the beginning of 2023, everybody was saying the company will fire 30% of their workforce. Gen AI changed everything. And today, how many companies did it? Really? Some of them, yes, but not a lot. So for me, yes, obviously, Gen AI, and we will discuss about it, will give significant benefits from drug discovery or customer support, medical education, but we will discuss it during the day. But this slide from Gartner, you know it very well. When there is a new technology, at the very beginning, you have a lot of expectations, and then a lot of investment. Those investments are related to the expectation. But when it's new, you don't really know what will be the benefit. So the question, especially for mid-pharmas, is maybe to wait a bit more to see what really works and to invest when we know where to invest and to ensure that it will give a benefit. So for me, this is a risk of digital. Ensure that we focus on the purpose and not the mean. It has been already said. But then it's an everyday challenge. Because today, a lot of pharmas have invested in AI, a lot of deals, sometimes AI, sometimes not really. Today, most announcements did not deliver concrete results. Today, we have 4 drugs that are in the market that were AI-enabled, only 4. And some players already are taking a step back. Why? Because we are talking about test and learn. Test and learn is invest, and when it doesn't work, it will take a step back. So when we invest, let's start small, and then see what it works in order to grow. Sometimes we tend to start bigger or too big. And we have seen some drawbacks from data lakes that were stopped from big pharmas. I will not comment this one. But I remember I launched with Tamara, who is not here today, Deprexis. It was a digital therapy for depression, a fantastic solution, 13 clinical trials. We did it 5 years ago. And at this time, they said, digital health is for tomorrow. 2020, all the treatment, or a lot of treatment will be digital treatment. How about today? The HCPs were not ready. The patients were not ready. We invested a lot. We took a lot of time, but they were not ready. So maybe it's a step by step. We invested a lot in WeHealth, our digital hub, in order to provide digital solutions, and we took a step back. You have seen the news last month of Biogen stopping this digital unit. The same. Not so easy. So for a mid-pharma, our key lesson is step by step. Let's test and learn, but step by step. You described it well, Julien, when you said we started with 1 affiliate, and then we see what is working and how we build up. Maybe the last message for me is that for data and AI, where it will make the difference. Yes, it's in launch and commercial. Yes, and you are already on it. But CRM, I mean, it's 20 years, 30 years old. I mean, something we are always improving. But where it will make the difference, it's to work on research and discovery. Because you will know better the disease. We will try to identify what are the targets, how we can frame the drugs in order to answer the targets. We will gain years of labs in order to have the right targets to be tested. So I think it's a fantastic opportunity, but it's important to know that today, data, most of the investment they made by pharmas are done in R&D. Then in clinical development, decentralization, improvement of patient profiles, and then PMS, pharmacovigilance. So there is a wide range of opportunities for data and AI. And we made a benchmark with some companies. Here are 2 big pharmas. I will not name them, A and B. Servier plus 2 mid pharmas and a smaller pharma. And we see that all along the value chain, from discovery, research, clinical development, and launch and commercial, obviously the big pharmas are able, there's a critical size to make an investment on everything and to be able to scale up the investment. But for mid pharmas, we have to make choices. We have to make choices in order to play where we can make the difference. It's difficult to assess. So we will have to start with what do we want to prove? And then which data, which AI solution we will use to do it. And we have to dare to give up some of those opportunities as are doing some of the mid-pharmas. Obviously, the one who will be making the difference will not be the tools, they are the people. And I feel proud of being in Servier. I feel proud of what we are trying to do, trying to achieve in order to be efficient. And we made a cascading of this vision for 2030. And I believe that we in Servier, the people, will make the difference in order to be sustainable and offer a benefit for the patients. So the key facts for me in this transformation, in this environment, is that we have a legacy And we have results for this transformation in oncology, for an example. We try to have a differentiated approach, trying to select where we want to make the difference, and that we need the people. People we are believing in what they do, people we are engaged. And by the way, I would recommend you to join Servier. I've been in Servier for 17 years. At the beginning, I saw it for 1 or 2 years, but I feel proud of being part of this company. Thank you very much.